Welcome to Plausible Foolishness. My name's Matthew. I've got opinions on stuff.
Hey, my name's Ray, and I've got opinions on things too. I was trying to steal all the intros from Being the Elite, you know what I mean? I tried to do the Cody Rhodes, and then the Marty Scurll, and then the Hangman Page, Kenny Omega, then the Young Bucks. Yeah, sorry, I had to do them all. What's going on? Welcome to Plausible Foolishness, man. We're just two guys with opinions on things, and we're from normal America. We kind of we don't live on the coastal elites, and we've got actual opinions on great things, and we want to share them with you guys today. But as always, we got to do this disclaimer before Glenn Beck picks us up, before Mark Levin comes calling us and stuff. We need to raise our support ship a couple different ways. If you look us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, those are the most obvious. Make sure you follow us on good old Plausible Foolishness on all those bad boys. But the big one, the big kahuna, the pinnacle, the zenith, the I don't even know what another word for amazing, what the highest would be. But the peak thing that you could do right now for us, if you can't give us that dough, is show us a little love on YouTube, man. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. That's when the monetization happens. That's when we can really blow this thing up. Because here's the thing. The people who've supported us, the people that have supported us on Patreon, which, if you love what's going on, make sure you support us on Patreon.
Patreon.com/plausible. Plausible Foolishness.
Boom. Got to follow us on there. But here's the thing. That's what put the lights on. That's what put the mic together. That's what put our cool little earbuds in. I don't know if you can see our earbuds, but we can hear really fun things. That's what has our soundboard, which is amazing.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
We have power to that now because of you guys. This little logo in the top here, if you can't see it, all the things that make this podcast legit in the eyes of the masses is because of you guys, because of what you've done with the Patreons, man. And what we really want to do in the next phase before we both purchase our homes and so on and so forth is get the marketing up, blow this thing up to a place where we can get a little bit bigger fanship and have more people watching what's going on. Because at the end of the day, man, it's not about entertainment. It's not about us blowing up. It's not about us using this to take off to whatever, because Mark Levin's going to be calling us tomorrow. Glenn Beck will eventually be calling us because they know. But really, for us, is to spread truth, man. Every single day, you are inundated with programming. Every single day, and we're going to talk about that today because we're about to.
Oh, that's my cue.
That's your cue. Resist the narrative, baby. And can we both do that?
Yeah.
Well, you can't do that because you're white. So.
I did it.
Oh!
I'm resisting the narrative.
It's like it's like Pee-wee's Playhouse, the word of the day. And everybody goes nuts. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day,
today's word, kid, is programming.
That's a good one. But yeah, at the end of the day, that's what we're here to do, man. We really want to resist the program. We want to resist the narrative. And that's what we bring to the table, because we're normal people, man. We're from normal Florida. We're from Orlando, where, Al Gore said would be gone 10 years ago, to be underwater. But magically, we're still here. And
it was 5 years ago.
5 years ago, yeah, 5 years. But we're supposed to be underwater right now, bro. The polar bears are supposed to be dead. But the funny thing is, Orlando is now the third most moved to city in America right now. Do you know that? Third most moved to, and that's surprising.
Not because of the rental prices, that's
but
actually that might be the cause of the rental prices.
It might be. But the beautiful thing is, we're not underwater yet. It's so crazy. It's like Walt Disney had a plan or something. But anyways, my point is, we're still here, baby, and the narrative of global warming's not real. Just like a lot of things that are said out there, and we're here to give you a little bit realistic perspective. We're giving you a little bit of plausible and a little bit of foolishness, which you've heard already today. So, but man, we got a good show today, man.
We do.
You ready to go today? Are you ready to resist the narrative? Are you sure these people want to see more of me, bro?
Yeah, they do.
They want to see the sexiness?
Oh, yeah.
Bringing sexy back, man?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do
Sexual
this.
chocolate.
Mark Henry. I met him in real life. Did I tell you that?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, sorry, man. Great dude.
You can tell them.
Yeah, I met Mark Henry. Mark Henry, if you don't know who he is, he's a lot of people actually speculate that he's the strongest man that's ever lived on the planet, aside from Simpson. But for us to believe the word, but he holds the best 5 lift total, clean and jerk, snatch, squat, bench, and deadlift of any person that's ever walked the face of the planet, which is funny. So he was a champion powerlifter, and he was a champion weightlifter as well, which is crazy. So he just powers sick. So when they claim that he's the world's strongest man, he's the world's strongest man, and the biggest hand I've ever shook in my life, and the strongest hand I've ever shook in my life.
Question for you:
Yeah?
What is the difference between a weightlifter and a powerlifter?
Lots. Well, the fact that he can do both is impressive, but
Why?
because weightlifting is more power and technique. It's a power technique, or it's weird because powerlifting really isn't about power. It's all about strength. Weightlifting is more about power. It's like, can I move this bar really, really fast? Like, you got guys that can literally pick up 550 pounds off the ground and hoist it above their head, which is insane. That is sick power, which is insane. Which he can, he was probably a 500-pound clean and jerk guy, 400-pound plus snatch guy. But then the flip side, powerlifting is a lot about strength. So maybe not so much technique because it's a simpler move. Like squat is you just sit your butt down, stand up. Deadlift is you pull a bar really heavy off the ground. Bench press is you bench a bar right off your chest and stuff like that. But the fact that he was strong and powerful and sexually chocolate and sexy.
Weightlifters. Okay, so they're doing the things where they lift it.
Yeah, it's more explosive.
Okay, gotcha.
It's explosive. Both of them require strength. Both require power, but it's like two different sides of the perspective of strength. But the fact that he was excellent at all 5 lifts grants him the title of potentially the strongest man to ever walk the planet. So, which is very, very interesting. But anyways,
The more you know, and that needs to be a.
the more you really, we need to play the stop it.
Yeah, right.
But yes, we've been on a tangent. But here's the deal, man.
I don't care.
So here's the deal. We got to resist the narrative, man, because it's getting sick out there, man. It's getting a little.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere, man. We talked about wizardry.
We talked about that last week. How it's in every single conversation we had last week.
Oh yeah.
We were finding things that were
Wizardry.
that were just normal, not like parlance of conversation, but like normal topics to bring up in this discussion that have been programmed into us.
Yes, 100%. Orange men bad. White people bad. Global warming. There's a lot of different ones that are out there, but this week was pretty interesting. The media still is claiming that they're the actual media. Okay, they've not accepted their actual role, which is called propaganda. You might want to look that one up. But they've been doing a lot of propaganda, and the really, really probably one of the bastions of the media outlet right now, BuzzFeed. I don't know if you've heard of them before.
Unfortunately.
They win Pulitzer Prize winning, hard-hitting journalism that's out there. Just kidding. This is complete hogwash. But BuzzFeed is hogwash. But anyways, they ran a story at the beginning of the week citing that Donald Trump made his lawyer, Cohen, lie, which, for an entire news cycle, for an entire day, CNN, MSNBC, all of the mainstream media was saying, we finally have him. We have the impeachable thing.
Got him.
It's over. Is this the noise? I took my glasses off for a second. Yay! We're going to be able to impeach Trump. Because Trump is evil. Orange man bad. We finally got it. And then
The Mueller investigation. The team announces that's completely untrue. That's not true in any way, shape, or form. And sorry.
yeah, so the best part is CNN, MSNBC, they're like, if true, this is an impeachable, if true. And they were so excited on The View. They were pumped up. Everywhere they're excited. And the Mueller investigation.
See, this is a question you need to ask yourself. Why is the news making statements like, if this thing we're talking about is true,
if
true,
which isn't news.
that's not
Not at all.
news. That's not a fact. Then
That's
why
called
are
speculation.
you discussing this?
That's speculation, my friend.
Yeah,
That's like writing a story. One might say
isn't
that's...
that a problem? Does that make you think there's a problem here?
No, because Orange Man bad.
Oh, yeah.
Orange Man bad.
If true, then they got him.
Because
he needs to be out because, I hate lower gas prices and lower taxes and booming economies and, a return to our place in the world and
But bro, you don't understand.
Border security.
He's a Russian spy, bro. He's a Russian spy. He's a Russian spy.
It couldn't be that the Russians. Couldn't be that the Russians were really trying to cause this split
Division?
The schism in the American.
No, he is a Russian spy.
Stop it. Get some help.
So how long's that investigation been going on? 3 years now?
Is it 3 years?
Almost 3 years?
No.
2 years?
Yeah.
At least a solid 2 years.
Yeah. Probably.
One would think after 2 years of investigation in this time in this media, one might find some proof that there's a Russian collusion, but alas, there's not. And then on top of it, we all know that Trump's a racist, right? He's a racist.
Yeah. Well, he said that. You know, Mexicans are rapists and murderers and stuff.
Stop it. Get some help.
Which is not true. He didn't say that at all.
Yeah.
If you actually watch the speech, he didn't say that. He said that Mexico is allowing people to come over into our border, which is the whole point of the shutdown, which we'll get to that in a little bit. They're not bringing over the best and brightest. It's not like the best doctor on the planet from Mexico is coming to America. It ain't happening.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh no, he's not paying coyotes to smuggle him across the border.
No, weird.
Interesting.
No.
That's
Normally they come over legally, if that's the case. The best and brightest. But we're having coyotes bring people over. And while that's happening, I think it's, every 50% of the women are getting raped on the way there. The kids are getting abused on the way there. And we're allowing it to happen because we
Meanwhile, the drug cartels get stronger
Yeah,
and
man.
stronger.
More
and stronger.
drugs.
And wreak havoc on the Mexican people. So that's...
And on American soil.
Well, yeah, on American soil. For sure. That's a problem. But let's say we care about Mexicans. Right? Let's say that we care about Mexicans.
Spoiler alert, they don't, but yeah,
They
keep
don't.
on.
Exactly. The left doesn't. They're funneling drugs into our country,
Yep.
making money, making American dollars off of those drugs, and then terrorizing their own people. Good job, Democrats. You're doing it. You're nailing it.
We're so proud of you, Democrats. Now, here's the thing. They don't care. They really don't care, but they're going to spin the narrative that we're going to resist this wall because Trump's a racist. There's no verifiable proof that the guy's a racist.
Did you see Louder with Crowder this weekend?
Oh, yes.
He went to another college for a Change My Mind segment.
That's the first thing they cited.
Yeah, the very first thing.
Very first thing.
Trump called Mexicans rapists and murderers and stuff.
Which isn't true.
It's not true. It's not true. But that's the thing. That's the thing. They know that they can just push it out there. At least they used to be able to.
Yeah.
They used to be able to, and that was very early on in this whole deal.
Yeah.
I think that was campaign, right?
Yeah. No, it was the campaign. It's Trump's a racist.
And
Orange man bad.
And so that was before we got, America got her groove back. The conservatives grew a spine named Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, this is the narrative. This is what they're pumping every single day. And it's part of the wizardry. We talked about this last week, but this is the reality. This is the narrative they're pumping, and nobody checks this. Nobody actually looks to see if Trump actually is a racist. Nobody actually looks and sees, oh, the guy has an NAACP award. What does that stand for again? National Advancement for...
National Association for the Advancement of
Colored People. But I thought that was bad to say. Colored people is bad.
But NAAPC doesn't really...
Oh.
And it's either a politically correct organization, which it is.
Okay.
Or a, personal computer organization. It's just it's too...
I don't understand. Yeah, I mean, I thought colored people was bad, but then it was black.
And really, you should put it up, make it POC.
Yeah.
And then that just adds another letter, and it's just too many.
But it's confusion of the left.
We're just going to keep it.
But
just call it NAACP and never, spell out what that is.
But anyways, Trump has one of those awards. Given to him by the Reverend Jesse Jackson. But because he has an R on the end of his name now,
the Reverend,
the charlatan. But anyways, I'm sorry, but here's the reality: you put an R on your name, and now you're a racist. Just like when you put that MAGA hat on, like those kids did this week, you're automatically a racist. Because we all know that the MAGA hat is the new white hood, right? That's the narrative.
Yeah, and gosh, man, BuzzFeed got it wrong again. Was that BuzzFeed again?
It was BuzzFeed that got it wrong, but here's the thing. BuzzFeed got it wrong. Mueller recants the fact that BuzzFeed did it, but the problem is everybody ran with the story.
But I'm talking about, was the MAGA kids
BuzzFeed
again?
No, but it was a small clip that they took from the scenario. And if you haven't heard about this story has been beaten to death ad nauseum, so we won't run over it too bad. But if you just look up the MAGA kids,
I think it's important, but we can take it from a different tack.
Yeah,
and this is the tack that we need to take.
Sure.
So they reported
BuzzFeed,
this thing.
Media's wrong.
Media's wrong.
Completely wrong.
Oh gosh, we made a mistake.
Completely.
You know.
And you think they'd stop there?
Yeah, and then you go, and then the same week, the MAGA kids made a mistake, and you can say like, oh, you know, they're making mistakes, or don't make, you know, they're so stupid. Don't make that mistake.
Yes.
This is intentional.
Yes.
You know.
Like fools.
And don't think like, what are they doing? They're ruining their credibility. They don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care whether it's right or wrong. They care, does it push? Does this get us extra steps in this narrative?
Yes.
That Trump is evil, that his supporters are evil.
Yes. We have to let go of the idea that the media is trying to factually be correct anymore. They don't care. The media at this point is propaganda. Well, what is propaganda? Propaganda is pushing an idea and beating it into the skulls of the general masses to the point where they just automatically believe that Trump's a racist, automatically believe that MAGA hats are white hoods, automatically believe that orange man bad, without checking facts, without actually checking what's happening. You're being beaten into your mind. And I'll be honest with you, the people that listen, the rubes that listen, that are really anti-Trump, let's get honest with ourselves. You didn't care about Donald Trump until when? When did you care about Donald Trump? When did you care? Even when he's going through the birther thing, where he's trying to figure out whether Obama's birth certificate was, you know, forged or whatever, which it was. But anyways, you know what I mean? But anyways, like, even when he's going through that, you didn't care about Trump. You know when you cared about Trump is when Trump became a threat. You know when Trump became a threat? When he ran for president. And guess what? The media tried to use the narrative that Trump's this idiot and the Republicans are so stupid and they're so bad and they're so racist that they would use Trump to go out there. And a guy who's known as an NAACP award-winning person who is friends with tons of people of color. I hate to even use their wizardry words. Okay? Now he's magically a racist. Now the hat that he uses is magically the new Confederate flag. Because they pumped it. The new white hood. The new white hood. They pumped that to you, and you believed it. And that's the magic thing. I guarantee you go up 10 years, none of you give a crap about Donald Trump. You don't care. Think he's entertaining, whatever. But you hate him now because they made you hate him. That's the narrative. That's the programming they put into your head, to the point where normal kids on a field trip in Washington, D.C. get accosted by black Hebrews who called them inbreds, called them child molesters, called them gay, called them all these things. Well, gay's not a bad thing, you know, on the left, but whatever. But they called them all these derogatory words. And a known liar, who happens to be a Native American, goes to them, not the story he told, by the way. He said that they surrounded me. No, you walked up to them in their face and beat a drum.
And he's done this before to high school students.
And by the way, he wasn't a veteran at all, by the way. And a lot of you posted it. I saw it on Instagram. I saw it on Facebook. You posted, "Believe this guy." And none of you fact checked, because guess what? The narrative was he is just a poor indigenous person. He was accosted by these terrible racist white kids.
Look at that evil smirk. I want to punch it off his face.
And the smirk.
I'm a person of peace.
You sounded like Paul Joseph Watson there, man. Because I'm a person of peace. Burn in heck. I mean, that's the thing. You believed it. And you took a snapshot of an Indian guy. Sorry, Native American. Sorry, indigenous person. Sorry, what is it now? What's the... Anyways,
first person.
Is it Redskin,
first
or is that
peoples?
Redskin? No. Sorry, you took one of those. That's offensive. Sorry.
I mean, it's a word that they use to describe their,
whatever,
their warrior heroes.
Yeah,
but whatever.
And pulled. They're not even offended by that name for a football team. But anyways, he's beating a drum in this kid's face, and this white kid has the audacity to look him in the eye, just stand there, and smirk. And he's an evil racist.
I believe it.
Believe it. believe wizardry.
Or we could resist the narrative.
Yeah, so here's the reality of the situation. At the end of the day, you can't be surprised that the media doesn't recant messed up stories, because all they're trying to do is push out propaganda. That is the only thing that they are out here to do nowadays. And the funny thing is this, and I have to cite Black Pilled. We watched a video from Black Pilled, and we'll give them a lot of love. Unbelievable
movie.
movie.
Link in the in the
description below.
Yeah.
He did a really good job of breaking down why the MAGA hat kid was so offensive. Do you understand why people got so mad about that? Without verifying the story, but just jump to the conclusion that immediately this guy's a racist, which is funny because we're told not to do that to black people, Indian people, Hispanic people, people of color. We're not supposed to jump to conclusions about them. Yet they jumped to conclusion about a white kid with a MAGA hat on. Do you know why they got really pissed off? Because the kid didn't cower. The kid looked him right in the eye. The kid was respectful, and all he did was smirk.
The smirk of somebody who isn't scared.
It's like their fear, their controlling, their kowtowing, the white guilt wasn't working on that kid. He didn't say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I'm a white person and we probably slaughtered your people." He didn't do that. He didn't look away. He didn't duck. He didn't cower. He just stood there and smirked. Because guess what, kiddos? The reality of the situation is, and they're going to spin the narrative that they're winning the culture war. They're not. They are slowly losing the conversation. You know why? Because we have these now. We have this now. We have the internet that you're using right now. All the stories that they're telling you, we can check them now. And we can make sure that they're full of crap. And guess what? We're finding out quickly that the left doesn't have as much power as they think they do. They can raise a stink. They can get angry. They can throw things. They're like that crazy ex-girlfriend that you broke up with, okay? You used to break up with that girl. And we're breaking up with the narrative to the point where people can wear MAGA hats and it's okay. Heck, my boy Kanye did that the other day. Just kidding. Right? And guess what?
Kanye.
And here's the problem. They can only call you racist so many times before you're like, where's the lightning strike from God to condemn me for my racism? Where's the lightning strike from God condemning me for my toxic masculinity? That's the new one. Where's the lightning rod from God striking me dead because I'm not sensitive anymore?
Because of your white privilege.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm gonna steal from who was the black guy that just called out for white privilege? Did you see that?
Webb.
David Webb. I'm going to invoke my David Webb problems. Because here's the deal. If you're listening to me without seeing me right now, you probably assume I'm a white guy just by my voice and the fact that I'm a supporter of Trump. But you'd be wrong, like that CNN host that called David Webb a white privileged guy. The problem is the white privilege narrative is not working anymore. It doesn't. We're not winning off the backs of slaves anymore. That's not true. None of the white people listening on this show have ever owned a slave. I can literally guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that not a single white person wakes up every day and thinks, man, I cannot wait to destroy someone of color. I can guarantee you that every white male that wakes up every single day is not thinking, man, I can't wait to get to my patriarchy meeting. Hopefully I'm not late today. I can guarantee you that that's not happening. And the reality is people are waking up, and because of this, we can all see each other and be like, oh, wait a minute. I'm not like what they say on that Gillette commercial. I'm not accosting women every day. I'm not being a toxic or whatever this toxic masculinity. I'm not the crap, this narrative that they're writing about me to the point where.
And I'm damn sure gonna let my little boys wrestle.
Exactly. Amen. I let my little girls wrestle now. Our little girls wrestle all the time.
Whenever they get together,
we let it happen now. It is what it is.
It's WrestleMania 2019.
Amen, brother. Amen. NXT's coming. But here's the deal. Vince knows. So my point is this. Just give us a call, Vince. We got him ready. But here's the deal. Hunter knows. Stephanie knows. But Shane O'Mac knows. But my point is this. The cycle's getting broken. It is. It's getting broken, man. All the things that they have propped up as reality are slowly crumbling. Let me give you some examples. Guess what? The college narrative's getting busted really fast. Not only the fact that they're being racist towards Asians, they won't even let Asians into Harvard now. They're getting sued for that. This idea that you've got to have a college education to make it is getting busted. The idea that I have to go in tons of debt to make it is getting busted.
Gary Vaynerchuk is out there every day
going against it.
Going against that narrative.
Yep. Guess what? That 9 to
and he's got how many followers? Millions?
Millions.
You know?
Millions, right?
I mean, that's not the only thing he's saying, but he's definitely saying that.
That 9 to 5 is getting busted. That idea is busted. The idea that I have to slave away my entire life for retirement, for me not to actually enjoy it and be dead by the end of it, is getting busted. The idea that a strong woman can do it all by herself and dads are evil is getting busted. More and more, I think women are waking up and saying, hey, listen, probably should have kids with this guy. Probably should marry him. Probably should stay with him. And let's raise these kids together. Because guess what? What are the 3 markers for success? It's
finish high school.
Yeah, one's finish high school, your parents stay together, and the other one was wait to have kids until you're married.
Yep.
If you do those 3 things, it is statistically impossible for you to be in poverty in America. That's it.
I wouldn't say impossible.
Well, it's
highly unlikely.
Highly unlikely. Sorry, I'm the foolishness of this show. Okay, I get it. I go there.
I temper his enthusiasm.
But here's the thing about the American dream: it has nothing.
I'm the buzzkill.
You're the buzzkill. Buzz.
Here comes Plausible again.
What is that from? What's that movie? Joy and Sadness. What is that from?
I have no idea.
Oh, it was like a Pixar. Inside Out.
Yes.
Yes, so good, man. Sorry. But anyways, like, the idea is getting shattered. And there's nothing, listen, I know that the narrative is propped up the single mom that can do it all by herself. And trust me, I am not discrediting or taking away anything from people. But I would guarantee that most single moms would probably prefer to raise their kids with somebody else. Especially like the man they had those kids with. And I can say that. Coming from the background that I've come from, I can say this. The indicator of success has nothing to do with your skin color. Literally the 3 metrics that they're talking about. Your parents stay together, finish high school, and literally wait to have kids until you're married. You do those 3 things, probably not going to be in poverty in America. Yeah. Probably going to be relatively successful.
Granted, one of those choices is not your own.
You're right. You're right. But as parents, that should be eye-opening.
2 out of 3 are your choice and are going to up your odds.
Yeah. And here's the thing. We're the generation of broken homes. Like, let's get real with ourselves. If you're in your 20s and 30s, it is more likely that you grew up in a divorced home than anything else. My parents got split up. I'm not dissing my parents. I love them and stuff like that. But guess what? It's amazing how marriages have changed and how we're viewing them, right? Less people are getting married, but I think the marriages that are happening probably more solid than they were before. Because guess what? We don't want to do that to our kids. I don't want to split up with my wife and put my girls through that. You know what I mean? I'm sure you don't want to do the same thing. We're waking up from the narrative that this is all bullcrap. I don't want
to do that to my wife either.
And what's the narrative about men and women nowadays? Women are strong, independent, don't need men. They need men like a fish needs a bicycle. And men bad. Gillette bad. And here's the problem. We all live in the real world.
But as we talked about last week, it's really, and as Blackpill talked on his video, it's really white man bad.
White man bad, yeah. Specifically white Christian straight male bad, right? But at the end of the day, like, here's the reality of the situation. Like, we're waking up to this. We're looking around and be like, oh, man, men aren't really that bad. They're the ones that protect us and, you know, are majority of the police force, majority of the people that their life's down for. I hate to break it to you. They're not too bad. And in fact, here's the other thing, too. The narrative that America's this, where it's a racist place and everyone hates everybody. We live in Orlando, okay? Orlando, Florida. Come on down. It's not a bastion of whiteness. Hate to break it to you. It's not. There's a lot of Puerto Ricans. It's like little Puerto Rico, one might say. Boricuas everywhere. I think there's more Boricuas in Orlando than are actually on the island. I really think that. And that's okay. I love my Boricuas. I love their food. I love their culture. It's awesome. I was forced to learn a little bit of Spanish just moving here. Does that make sense? Black people live here in Orlando. This is an international hub. You talk to people from, like, Britain. And, well, wait, they don't count because they're white. But, you know, like, at the end of the day, like, there's a lot of people here. It is culturally mixed up place. There's a lot of biracial kids like me running around, Jews like him running around. We're all here. But the thing is, the narrative is out there. It is Armageddon. Black people are killing white people are killing black people. It is literally 1913 again. But it's not. And you're awake. You look around. It's not real. These narratives are not real. They're not. White people aren't bad. In fact, I'm going to say something crazy on Plausible Foolishness. It's okay to be white. Just like it's okay to be black. Just like it's okay to be brown. it's okay. Isn't that weird? Did I just say something super offensive?
Well, I mean, conspiracy theory.
Oh.
It's okay to be white.
It's okay to be white. I'm sorry.
This guy.
Sorry. It is okay. In fact, it's okay to be biracial. Yeah, please forgive us, controllers.
please
Forgive
me.
us.
Leftist overlords.
But it's okay. And people are waking up to this. And the funny thing is, that smirk heard round the world, that's just a shot over the bow. Guess what? You're losing your power.
Yeah.
The chain's broken, man.
The youth.
Chain's broken. And guess what? People are waking up. The youth growing up now, they have these. They live by these. They have tons of friends of different colors from all different places. And they're realizing that, you know what, at the end of the day, you don't judge people by their skin tone. They judge people by their character. Hate to break it to you, like Martin Luther King. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who was a Republican, by the way. But anyways, my point is this. The narrative, you got to wake up from the narrative. You got to wake up from the storytelling that they're telling you. Because if you don't, guess what you're going to believe? You're going to believe that Black Panther was the first black superhero movie that ever came out. You're going to believe that crap. You're going to forget about Blade, Blade 2, Blade 3, Steel. What other black superhero movies? I mean, there's a bunch of them before. To the point where now Black Panther is the cultural... Hancock, you know, Will Smith, but he doesn't count because he's not black enough. You know what I mean? So, he's just not black enough. Just like I'm not black enough, you know what I mean? But anyways,
Yeah, I guess.
but my point is this. You got to get away from this narrative. And here's the thing. Orange man bad. White guys bad. Men bad. Pay attention to what they're trying to sell you every single day. They're trying to tell you that men are the problem. The problem is this. 50% of our men grow up in fatherless homes. 78% of our boys are taught by women. What is it? 78% of our teachers are women.
Yeah.
78%. The problem in this world is not these toxic men running around. The problem in our world, reality, is there's not enough men in the world. Reality, there's no race war out there. Reality, the government shutdown is not affecting you at all right now. Reality, you need men and boys to be men and boys to protect the society and the freedoms that you love. Reality, Trump is a good president.
Reality,
sorry.
The left doesn't care about you.
In reality, they're not stupid.
Yeah.
They're not stupid.
This is on purpose.
This is the most calculated Solinsky socialist programming ever. They're doing this on purpose. If you sit down with somebody across the table in a family setting, you wouldn't be able to get away with these narratives. But they don't go there. You know where they go? They go to colleges. They want you so badly to be in debt and just listen to the college and put all your faith and trust in your professors that are probably left-leaning. They probably hate men. They hate God. They hate all these things. And that's where they get you. They get you with media. They get you with all these cool stories. And they tell the same stories all the time. There's another movie coming out about racism, because we need another movie saying that racism's bad. In 2019, we have not figured out that racism bad. We need another movie about racism back in the 70s. Literally almost 50 years ago. We need another story telling what happened 50 years ago. We need that. We need another story from sci-fi telling us that we need to leave the Earth because it's overpopulated and we're using all the resources and anything other than Earth is better than what's
How many
better
times
here.
have we seen that story?
Over
and over
and over
again.
and over and over again.
It's the starting point of just about every space-based sci-fi movie.
Newsflash.
It's really the story of every. I mean, you know, it's Mega City 1 and Judge Dredd,
Yes.
and you know, I mean, look at the
Battle Angel Alita. It's a dystopian.
Yeah, dystopian.
It's
Blade Runner, and you know, don't
Blade
get me
Runner's a good
wrong.
movie. It's a good movie.
Don't get me wrong.
But it's the same story.
I love the dystopian future storyline.
I do too. I watched
You
Akira.
know, but it's what's that?
I watched Akira. I watched that.
I want to see Battle Angel Alita.
The Matrix. I watched that
Of
one
course, they
too.
call it Alita Battle Angel, and I'm like, no, it's Battle Angel
Angel
Alita. You could have just. Why did you have to rephrase? I know. Anyway,
It's okay. We'll get back to that in a bit. But
can't
every
function so angry.
But think about every sci-fi movie. Every sci-fi movie is, we've used all our resources. The Earth is overpopulated. And guess who the problem is? It's you. You're the problem. because you're a human being. To the point where, like, what they want to regulate how much hamburger we have now? Is that what's going on? That's one of our stories we were reading before the show.
Some Stockholm-based non-for-profit put out basically a plan for rehabbing the world's diet, let's say.
Yes.
And so, like, you only eat hamburger once a week.
Yes.
One serving of dairy a day.
Yes.
It's mostly plant-based.
Of course.
Because that's what's super healthy for everybody.
For everybody.
You know, don't tell the person who's eating ribeyes, who has only eaten ribeye steaks for 20 years and is feeling fantastic.
Yeah, but here's
the... has zero problems.
Yeah, but the Christian take on that is, but it's the Daniel diet, bro. It's the Daniel diet. But anyway, sorry. But the narrative seeps into our churches too, guys. To the point where I'm like watching Christians like really buy into the climate change thing. They're really buying into weather, and that we affect weather so much. We are so powerful as humans. We affect the weather. Like, think about that. Like, how much idolatry is that you're taking the power from God, that you think that you have that much control of what's going on, to the point where they're going to tell you the polar bears are going extinct, which they're not, by the way. They're growing in population.
They've like tripled in size
exactly.
since that stat was made.
According to all the climate, and we're going to get called climate deniers, and I don't care. I am a climate denier.
Yes.
Just like I'm an Uncle Tom, I'm a racist, I'm a chauvinist, I'm all these evil things that you say are, but guess what? I'm living a happy life, I love my God, and I'm doing what He wants me to do, which is more important. Let me ask you a question,
though.
Yeah.
Do climates change?
Yes.
Yes.
Isn't that called seasons?
Well, it can be seasons, and like, but even across time.
Oh, things change.
Things change.
Weird.
Right? Yeah.
Weird. But I have the power to do that. When I flip my light switch on, I affect it.
There's the rub.
Oh.
That's what we deny. Oh. That humans have any involvement in this.
Sorry. Because here's the problem, and I don't know if you saw this, I posted this the other day, but I was like, it is amazing to me that, like, we all know that the weather guy can never predict the weather.
Yeah, I saw that.
But we call them meteorologists. And you bow to that science. You're like, oh, the meteorologist, he knows what's going on. They never can predict the weather. So if we can't even predict the weather, how do we control the weather? Exactly. That's what I'm just trying to figure out here. How do we control the weather? And then the fact is, we want to slap sanctions on ourselves, tax ourselves more for stuff we're not even doing. Why aren't you doing this over in China? Oh, wait, because they pay for everything in Hollywood. Sorry, but at the end of the day, sorry, look it up for yourself. But my point is this. What's the reality of the situation? It's another narrative. And guess where they tie that into? Every one of our sci-fi. What do you think WALL-E was? What was WALL-E? Think about the whole premise of that movie.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
It's a good movie. Love WALL-E. Love Pixar, but it's still a narrative. We're going to destroy the world. Titan AE, we're going to destroy the world. Every single one of these, we're going to destroy the world, man. It's our problem. We are the cause of it. Guess what? We're not. We don't have that much power, but we're climate deniers for pointing that out. But we're going up against the narrative. And these are the narratives. Orange Man bad. Climate change. Men are bad. If you're black, you're oppressed in America. The racism that's going on, the government shutdown, and we're stuck in all these narratives all day long, and all they do is push them to the point where they're trying to, wax on, wax off, to the point where they're trying to tell you that the last thing we want to talk about today, good old Black Panther.
Yeah,
Black Panther's in the news, huh?
Oh yeah,
because it was a cultural revolution.
Oh, for sure.
It was the newest idea that nobody's ever thought of before, ever.
It's nominated.
Okay. For
7 Oscars.
Oh, yay!
One of which being Best Picture.
Oh, yay!
Best Picture. And it's like, so part of me is like, hooray, finally a superhero movie getting its due.
I'll admit, I'm excited about that part of it.
The other part of me is like, the larger part of me is like,
why this movie?
But Black Panther wasn't that great. Avengers Endgame, or Avengers,
Infinity War was way better. Way better.
Way better.
We just synced up on both those way better.
Yeah, you have a fully digital actor killing it.
Oh, man.
In Thanos,
Yeah, but he's a white guy, so...
No, he's purple.
Well, but the character is white, so we can't really give him...
Like the actor was white?
Yeah, remember? Or whatever that noise was made when white people would talk. But yeah, anyways... Sorry.
Good point.
Sorry, I'm bringing. But he's a white guy. Even though he's a great actor and he's killing it.
It's so.
Did you see
It's so.
Did you see him as K in the third
insulting.
Men in Black? He was so good as K. And
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's his
He's
name?
good as Cable. Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin. He was great at Cable too.
Yeah.
Killed it, man. That dude's killing it. But you know what? He's not going to get an Oscar nomination.
No.
He's a white guy. And he's not playing a gay black drug dealer in the movie that no one ever saw. And he's not humping a fish. He's not a deaf woman humping a fish in a tank, whatever. So it's not going to get any love. But I think it's funny. Well, two things. One,
do you find it insulting that that's a Best Picture nominee?
no, here's what I would say. There's two things I would say in this. I think it's interesting that finally Hollywood's realizing that the narrative they're pushing of really crappy movies that nobody's ever seen doesn't draw ratings whatsoever. You know why? Because I'm not watching your Oscar show. And the fact is nobody wants to watch it because it's just a Trump bashing session the whole time anyways. But it's ironic that, like, look at the top grossing movies. Most of them are not Oscar nominated movies.
No.
The things that people want to see are superhero movies. What they don't want to see is Humping Nemo. Is that what Ben Shapiro said? Ben knows. We'll be on CRTV eventually. Ben knows. Levin, huh?
It's Daily Wire.
Daily Wire. Yeah, I always mess it. See, we're never gonna get on. We're never gonna get on Daily Wire.
We're not.
It's okay. Glenn, give us a call after the show. We're ready to go. But anyways, my point is this. I think they're waking up to that. But the thing is, but here's the deal. The bait and switch. It's like Indiana Jones, right? You see the little thing, and he's got the sandbag, and just switching it over to steal the narrative, which is, okay, we'll let them have their day. We'll let them think that we care about what they think. We'll let the livestock have their day by giving them Black Panther, because that's the one that we controlled. And here's the question I ask. What's the difference between Aquaman and Black Panther story? Waiting.
Almost entirely black ensemble, and the anti-colonialist narrative that they pushed on that. The one where because white people didn't take over Wakanda, and they had such an awesome they didn't steal their natural resource of vibranium, that an African culture was able to become the most technologically advanced city in the world.
That was a fiction, correct?
Entirely.
Can you name the great African city that's in Africa right now?
Well, no, because white people came and took all their natural resources.
Oh, that's right, gotcha. But I thought Africa was the cradle of civilization, so they've been around longer than us, correct?
Well, yeah, that's true.
Wouldn't there be a great city like Rome or, like...
Carthage?
No, maybe?
Maybe.
No?
Egypt?
Okay.
Yeah, but not
Cairo.
modern.
Yeah.
Not since...
That's weird. But anyways,
yeah.
but the point is this, how long has the imperialism not been in Africa? Let's get real with ourselves. Think about it. I mean, after apartheid, really, what do you got? You have self-sustaining African nations. I mean, is anybody holding Ivory Coast's hand right now? Is anybody holding Mozambique's hand?
Nobody from the West is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So where is?
Well, you know what there is one thing that the West is doing.
Okay.
They're restricting coal energy. Fossil fuel electricity.
Doesn't that warm houses?
What's that?
Doesn't that warm houses and stuff?
Yeah, it would revolutionize their society. Energy is why the West has thrived as it has.
Gotcha.
And
coal bad.
But yeah, coal and
nuclear
and natural
bad.
gas is bad. Yeah, nuclear definitely bad.
And gas bad. Fracking bad.
Yeah, so
Remember that
you're actually not allowed to develop those technologies in Africa.
Got it. Sounds good. So we want to oppress. So they're oppressing them?
No, they're building green energy there, which is great.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you only want green energy there. So the energy that doesn't actually really work all that well.
Magic.
So that they stay exactly where they are. So yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, they are
wizardry.
Oppressing. Yeah, they're oppressing.
Wizardry. They're oppressing. Yeah. But anyways,
but we're saving the Earth.
Yeah, we're saving the Earth. So, but
climate change.
So really, what's the difference between Aquaman and Black Panther? What's the
narrative?
Oh, the narrative. That's right. So we're gonna bait and switch you. Hey, plebes. Hey, livestock. We'll let you have this one. We'll let one of those superhero movies in that you spend billions of dollars on, things that you actually want to see, but we'll let this one in because it has a narrative with it.
And granted, Black Panther did sell
sold a lot.
Really well.
Yeah. And it was probably the most average of the Marvel movies there was.
Really, I mean,
very average.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. It was good.
Minus the narrative.
Dude, listen, the music, awesome. There's great music. I have a lot of it downloaded.
But
I
it
use
was
it when
the
I'm lifting.
least superheroic of all of the superhero movies.
Yeah. Pretty much.
But man, Killmonger killed it because he fought the power. He told it like it is.
Michael B. Jordan's better in Creed. Sorry. And anyways, but my point is this: it's the most average movie of all time of the Marvel movies. And the funny thing is, you don't take Infinity Wars over that. Infinity War's a way better movie. In fact, the movie that just came out this week, Glass. I don't know if you guys have heard of it before, and I won't discuss it yet because this jabroni has not seen it yet. But I'm just kidding. I love you. I
got kids.
I got kids too, bro.
You also have
okay.
in-laws who are right here to watch.
Okay, fine. You're right. I rescind my comment. Watch Glass. But anyways, my point is, Glass is a great movie. If you haven't seen it, it tells a really amazing story. No narrative, no racism, no homophobia, no anything. And you're going to crap on it. You know why? Because M. Night Shyamalan tells really good stories. Mm-hmm. He doesn't stick to the narrative. He doesn't draw out white and black stuff.
What's its
his
critics review? 38%?
38%.
38%.
It's probably one of the best movies I've ever seen. But Black Panther's going to get up there because, the narrative. And that's the narrative. And this, the whole point is this. You're probably drawing some similarities to the last episode, but the reality is this. There's so much wizardry in the world, and all they're doing, one of their devices, the pixie dust, the fairy dust, the stuff that comes out of the magic wand, it's the narrative. That's all it is. They're spinning a very specific narrative. They're trying to tell you a very specific story, and if they say it long enough and loud enough, people will believe it.
Here's an example.
Didn't Hitler say that? Hitler said that, right? You say a lie long enough and loud enough?
And it becomes truth.
Oh, weird.
Here's an example.
Orange Man Bad. What?
How many of you have heard that Thomas Jefferson slept with his slaves? I've heard it.
Isn't that true?
As far as Joe Q. or John Q. Public believes, it's 100% true.
Oh.
That's science, my friend.
Science, bro.
Have you ever heard that they proved that it was genetically impossible for him to have been the progenitor of this line of people?
Oh, no. No,
that's actual.
Oh.
That is, in fact...
Truth?
The magazine, I think it was Time magazine that started the whole thing, printed a retraction, months later.
Front page, though, right?
No.
On the cover?
No.
At least the second page.
No.
Where was it?
I don't know exactly, but not easily accessible and...
Oh, not in a prominent place.
Very tiny.
Oh. Weird.
Yeah. Genetically impossible.
I heard one. Did you hear this one? Trump said that all Mexicans are rapists.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Have you heard this one? Polar bears are going to go extinct because of global warming. Did you hear about that one? Did you hear? Oh, no?
They're still on the endangered species list.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay.
Even though their numbers have tripled. And
yeah, but man-bear-pig's never wrong. Man-bear-pig is never wrong.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then you got Ocasio-Cortez, our freshman,
12 years. 12 years.
12 years. That's what you got, guys.
And then, did you see my comment on the
No.
post? So you said that she also in the same rant said that basically hating if you're successful, it's a bad thing.
It's a bad thing. We got to get rid of that idea of success.
And then my comment was, let's see what her net worth is, in a couple of years.
100%. Yeah, I mean it's very interesting to me that that's the case. So I'm interested to see. I mean, the reality of the situation is this. I find it very interesting that people aren't waking up to this more. But here's the flip side. People are waking up to it. The Plausible Foolishness is a proof of this. Shows that I love watching on YouTube, especially like Louder with Crowder. They just came back. Unbelievable first show. I didn't agree with him on the Michael Jackson stuff, but first show was hilarious. You know what I mean? But there's an awakening that's happening. There is an awakening across this country, and it's very silent. You know why it's silent? Because the mainstream things are going to force Cardi B down your throat. To the point where I'm watching Jeopardy today, and guess what? One of the questions is about Cardi B. In 2 years, you will never hear that word ever again. Just like you don't hear about, when's the last time you heard about Lady Gaga? Heard about her in a little bit?
Well, she starred in that movie,
Oh,
A Star is Born.
gotcha. Sorry.
Which is also an Academy Award nominee.
Oh, gotcha. Fair
Best
enough.
Picture.
Gotcha. Kesha, heard of her? Is she around anymore?
No, I haven't heard of her in a while.
Hanson, remember those guys?
Oh, that was a long time ago.
And they throw these temporary idols in front of you to distract you from reality of the situation. But the problem is people are going around that. You know, people are waking up from it. We're not consuming everything from the controlled narrative that they have of the TV, media, newspaper, so on and so forth. You and I have these, and we can watch what we want to watch on YouTube, well, for now, until they get rid of that. But we'll go to other means and so on and so forth. But the reality of the situation is we can look around. A lot of us are unplugged. The Matrix is not a fiction, it's a documentary. They Live is a documentary, guys. I hate to say it, but it's true. A lot of people are unplugging faster and faster about a lot of things. We're calling to question a lot of things. We're calling to question the actual morality of Hollywood. Do they even have it? They don't. We're questioning the reality of hating God and not believing in God. I think there's always going to be the resistance towards Christ and God and so on and so forth. But I think there's an awakening happening. There's a lot of questions going on with science. A lot of the stuff's not adding up, man, and I'm looking around, and your models aren't really matching up with the reality of the situation. Still haven't seen the core of the Earth, but, whatever. We're questioning...
Benjamin made a great point about dark matter.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever heard of dark matter?
Oh, I've heard about it all the time, just like black holes.
Do you know what it is?
I have no clue.
Supposedly, it's this undetectable substance that makes up most of the universe, right?
Weird.
And the reason that they think it exists is because their math wasn't adding up.
Oh, the math. But the math is...
So, they're doing math, and it's this isn't adding up.
Ah.
Well, maybe our math is wrong.
Maybe the dog's math isn't adding up either, man.
Maybe our math is wrong. No, they don't think that. They think, well, then there must be something out there that we can't see, feel, or touch that is making the math not add up.
But trust us.
Also, God doesn't exist.
Yeah, God doesn't exist, but trust us. But just trust us. We have the white coats. We're meteorologists.
Dark matter's a thing. It is.
It's like black holes. You ever seen one of those before?
No, because light can't escape.
Oh, weird. How do you know it exists then? Have you seen the core of the Earth yet? Oh, anyways, but we're questioning more things. Sorry. The molten core. Light can escape. Sorry. It's just how it is, man. And this is the amazing thing, is people are believing this. We just kowtow. We just bow before the sacred cows. We bow before this stuff. We bow before Lady Gaga. We bow before Cardi B. We bow before whatever the mainstream media, what the narrative is. We're going to impeach Trump. Orange man bad. He said that all Mexicans are rapists. He said this. The scientists, they know everything. They've got everything right. But then a new study comes out to debunk it. And then there's another study that was never conducted, but then it's quoted in BuzzFeed as a scientific study about something. You believe that crap.
Scientists are the priests of our time.
Amen, brother.
And carbon credits are the indulgences.
Hey, man, listen. Listen, that unborn child, it's not really a child. I mean, if you left it alone, it would become a child. But it's a fetus, and it's just a clump of cells. And when it breaches the vaginal wall, then magically, it's a person. God's not real, even though everything in this world is explained by a divine creator. This is made by a creator. But guess what? This could still happen if nothing somehow became something, exploded, and then through jellyfish and monkeys, this happened. And we live our lives and believe this crap. We believe the narrative. But here's the beautiful thing about the rubes. I think you guys are smart enough to resist the narrative. I think you're smart enough to see through the bullcrap. I think you're smart enough to see the reality. Now here's the deal. Not everybody that rocks a MAGA hat is racist. The media lies about 99% of the time.
Also, think about this. The media's been trying to find racist MAGA hat guy.
Still can't find him.
They still can't find him.
Well, he's like the elusive guy. He's like Sasquatch.
Yeah.
He's like... Gotta make that meme.
Right.
The racist MAGA hat white guy is as elusive as Sasquatch. Just can't find him. He is the hide-and-seek champ of all time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Still can't find him. We keep trying to manufacture him. He's just not real. Just not. I'm sorry. The problem is we see more and more intolerant lefties. blowing up college campuses, attacking vets, doing stupid things, but they don't cover that in the media. They cover the smirk. And they cover a BuzzFeed story that ended up not being true. And they cover global warming stats that are backed up by no one, with facts and figures that don't match up. And they follow around Ocasio-Cortez because the white man's just terrified of her because she's Hispanic. No, we're terrified because she's dumb and she's in power.
And people might believe her.
Exactly. And here's the thing. We get it. We get the narrative. We understand. We're just livestock to you, left. We get it. That's why you don't care about our kids. We've talked about it and documented it on the show plenty of times. We know that you want us to be poor. If you cared, you would take care of these people that are going through the shutdown. You would. Trump's done lots of things to try to make this thing happen.
Oh, yeah, they post Dan Crenshaw, one of the new reps in the House. He tweeted, I think this afternoon, that a bill was put forth to pay the federal employees who have not received a paycheck in 2019 to pay them.
Yeah.
And only 6 Democrats voted in favor, and it failed.
Oh, weird.
But they're concerned about the people.
They care about the people,
aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, they care about DACA, right?
I mean, that's what the media's been telling me.
They care about the kids, and
it's only the hateful Republicans that don't care.
Yeah, man. They care about immigrants that aren't here illegally, that really aren't American citizens more than you. But at the end of the day, I think people are waking up to that. And, as much as people want to say, oh, this midterm election was an indictment on Trump, Trump picked up seats in the Senate, and he didn't lose as many people as we thought. I think there's going to be an awakening in 2020 really quickly when, I can't wait for Kamala Harris to run and, try to call ICE KKK. And I can't wait for Native American Elizabeth Warren to win the seat. I'm excited. I hope Beto runs. I really hope he does. I'm excited that Beto can run. I'm excited. I really hope Cory Booker runs. I cannot wait to roast Spartacus. I cannot wait to roast him. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a really fun election cycle. And I can't wait for one. I'm just predicting it now. Maybe I'm being a little Alex Jones on this bad boy.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the freak.
But anyways, turn the frogs game, bro. But I think it's going to be a landslide smash for him. I think it's going to be the second year like Reagan did. Reagan just took everything. I just think it's really going to happen. I think people are waking up, and I think people like you, the Rubes, are waking up. And the way they're waking up, man, you're following us, you're liking us, you're sharing us, you're subscribing us on YouTube, you're sharing us everywhere on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Obviously, we're not going to say no to your money. We appreciate the Patreons who keep us going.
And if you become a $5 patron, a Fifth Degree Rube, you can enjoy the segment we're going to record right after this called The Fifth Degree.
Ooh. We're going to talk about M. Night on that one.
Yep.
Little M. Night Shyamalan, who's actually telling real stories, but he'll never get a Golden Globe at it, because he doesn't tell the narrative. He doesn't say that all white men are bad and Christians are evil and Orange Man bad and weather is changed by human touch, and he's just not telling those stories. But we'll watch them, and we enjoy them, and we'll keep spreading. It's going to be awesome. But guys, we appreciate you so much for following us. We appreciate you for listening us today on Plausible Foolishness, man. We cannot thank you enough. I'll be honest with you, I was tired. I was not ready to rock for the show. 1 cup of coffee, seeing that majestic beard, seeing you guys on the TV screen, fired me up and got me ready to rock. I'm ready to go. And it fires me up every single week. I know what I'm doing on Wednesday, which is really debunking this narrative, resisting the narrative every single day, and getting rid of this crap that we see every single day, and unplugging from the wizardry. That's what this is all about. We're not from San Francisco. We're not from LA. We're not from Chicago. We are not from New York. We're not from DC. We are not in the swamp. We are not in the cesspool that are those cities. We're here in good old Orlando that's supposed to be gone. We're here, the 3rd most moved to city in the world. We're real Americans, surrounded by real diversity, seeing the reality of the situation, that the world's not burning, that the shutdown's not as bad as everybody thinks. There isn't a racist uprising. We're seeing the truth and claiming the truth every single day on Plausible Foolishness, the way we see it. And we appreciate you guys for watching us. We appreciate your support, and it's been a really good show, my friend.
I agree.
I went off a little bit, man.
Yeah, you did.
But you know what?
I think it's good.
It's always been good. We love you. Keep listening to us. It's been plausible. It's been foolish. But hopefully you had a really good time tonight. We love you guys. See you on the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth degree. Bye.